Thankfully, the Johnny Depp-Amber Heard trial is finally coming to an end. But not before a blockbuster day, where Depp himself took the stand again, and Kate Moss, the supermodel who dated Depp between '94 and '98, also testified. Depp is suing Heard. Heard is countersuing Depp. They're both accusing the other of lying about the other one and of physical and emotional abuse. Today, Kate Moss discussed an allegation referenced on the witness stand by Amber Heard when she testified that she was thinking about Depp pushing Moss down a set of stairs while the two were dating in the 1990s.
What, if anything, happened when you were in Jamaica with Mr. Depp?
We were leaving the room, and Johnny left the room before I did, and there had been a rainstorm, and as I left the room, I slid down the stairs, and I hurt my back.
How did you...
And
I apologize, Ms. Moss. Please continue.
And I screamed because I was because I didn't know what had happened to me, and I was in pain. And he came running back to help me and carried me to my room and got me medical attention.
Did Mr. Depp push you in any way down the stairs?
No.
During the course of your relationship, did he ever push you down any stairs?
No, he never pushed me, kicked me, or threw me down any stairs.
All right, so a little win there for Johnny Depp. Now, after Moss was finished, Depp was back on the stand himself, claimed Amber Heard took that alleged stairs incident and ran with it.
I ran over and grabbed her to make sure she was all right. That's it. That's all I ever. That's the whole story. But then the rumor of it, I'd never heard a rumor of that before Miss Heard grabbed hold of it. It's like that. I'm sorry.
Then Depp discussed Amber Heard's sister, Whitney, basically said that he, Johnny Depp, wasn't Amber's only victim. He even said that Heard would do this to her own sister.
She would have wine thrown in her face.
And who was the source of those demeaning words and the wine that you just referenced?
Well, that would be Amber Heard, her sister.
And
in New York, which I think that even made it into the papers.
And then he was asked what he thought of hearing, sitting there listening in court, to Heard's testimony.
what has it been like for you to listen to Ms. Heard's testimony at this trial?
I'm sorry?
What has it been like for you to listen to Ms. Heard's testimony at this trial?
Insane. It's insane to hear heinous accusations of violence, sexual violence, that she's attributed to me, that she's...
And he says that he has no regrets about bringing the lawsuit.
No human being is perfect, certainly not. None of us. But I have never in my life committed sexual battery, physical abuse, all these outlandish, outrageous stories of me committing these things and living with it for 6 years and waiting to be able to bring the truth out. So this is not easy for any of us. I know that. But no matter what happens, I did get here, and I did tell the truth.
Remember that technically this lawsuit is about Amber Heard's December 2018 Washington Post piece titled "I Spoke Up Against Sexual Violence," a piece where she didn't mention Depp by name. But here's the good news for those who don't own a live trial network. The judge has given each side a time limit to present their cases, so in 2 days, the 7 jurors, 7, it's a weird number, will deliberate and need to come back unanimously for Depp to win his case or Heard to win hers. Joining us now is Jesse Weber, host for the Law and Crime Network, which I founded. He's been covering this case extensively, including spending time inside the courtroom. Jesse, good to have you. So there was talk that Amber Heard's team would call Depp back to the stand. That always seemed like grandstanding to me. I don't believe that they ever were seriously considering that. But now his own team puts him back up there. Did he help his case?
This was so unnecessary, Dan. I mean, the parts that you played were the more, parts that really helped his case. I get it. He wanted to take the stand. It's his case. Give the final story. Respond to Amber Heard some of her allegations. But the problem was, under cross-examination, he was so evasive. He was so argumentative. He got caught up in inconsistencies. He would deny things that he was caught up, that he was then confronted with in text messages and photographs that I don't see how this was necessary and how it helped him overall. I mean, just to give you an example of this, he claims on the stand today that Amber Heard assaulted him on the Orient Express. Then he shows a photo of an injury to his eye. And then under cross-examination, they present him with a photograph from the day before with that same injury. And he doesn't have a great excuse for why it's there. So again, if this is the last thing that the jury's going to hear, primacy and recency, his attorney did such a great job of cross-examining Amber Heard. He might have just left it there. Let the other evidence present itself. I know he wanted to give the final word. Just don't know if it hurt him more than it helped him.
And Kate Moss, small victory, right, for Johnny Depp. I mean, it was great seeing her. She looks terrific, and it seemed like a nice courtroom moment, but significant?
I mean, she was on the stand for 5 minutes, definitely helped his case. To say that Amber Heard was peddling a rumor that was unfounded, sure, it's definitely helpful. But, I don't think that's going to change the fabric of this entire case. The jury might just use that and say, you know what, Amber Heard, she's been maybe dishonest about so many different things. This is another thing that she obviously knew about. Johnny Depp told her about Kate Moss, and yet she told us this anyway. I don't like that way that looks, but that, I think, is the most it's going to go.
So they need a unanimous 7-person jury. Very rare to have a 7-person jury. Any shot you see here of Depp being to pull this off and getting 7 people to vote for him?
Anything is possible. It is difficult to predict where juries come from. I am just of the opinion that if the jury gets a broad instruction on what domestic abuse is, they could say, we have been hit with so much evidence of verbal abuse, smashing cabinets, the text messages, it might be too much. Now, I will tell you, the sexual violence component that's in the headline of the defamation article, the Washington Post article, if that is presented to the jury, because there's a question if it be dismissed, if it is presented to the jury, that might be problematic for Amber Heard. That is a really serious allegation. They might not believe that happened. I think that's the best shot for Johnny Depp right now.
And if they don't believe that that happened specifically, so it depends on what the judge's instruction is on that, right?
It is, but remember, it's 3 statements in particular. They could find any one of those to be defamation. And then, of course, it's the question of the counterclaims, which is a whole separate area. For
All right. Jesse Weber, as always, thank you. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.